Hello all, I am Dr. Sowndarya. Welcome back to iLovePhD for a new video. The first step in carrying out any sort of research is identifying the research gap. Choosing an unexplored area in your field of research will enable for the smooth and successful completion of your research work with good number of publications. But the big question is how to identify the research problem from the existing literatures. Some researchers have clear idea about the research problem they want to pursue. However, some researchers, especially those who are at an early stage of their career, find it difficult to choose a research problem that is unique and novel. So the best way to handle this is to identify the gap in existing research, that is identifying the research gap. In this video you will learn what is research gap and 6 important tips to identify the research gap are discussed. Okay, let's get into the video. First, let us understand what is research gap. Research gap is a problem or a question that has not been answered by any of the existing studies within your area of research. For instance, when you read a research or review article on topics of your research interest, you may notice there are some areas that have significant scope for more research, but they have not been explored by other researchers. So a research gap or a literature gap refers to such unexplored areas that have scope for further research. Why it is important to identify a research gap? Assume that you have completed all your experimental works and you are in the process of publishing your findings in reputed journals, but the journal editor or keep rejecting your paper, stating that the research work is not unique and novel. Knowing this information at that point of time would be distressing for you. Therefore, it is important to find out the unique and novel research problems which have not been answered before. Remember, you are investing your time, knowledge, funds and resources in the research. So invest in the right work which enables you to publish your research findings quickly. Now we have come to the most important part of this video, how to identify research gap. Here are the 6 effective tips to identify research gap. The first tip is understand the existing literature. The first step in gap analysis is to do systematic review of existing literatures relevant to your research. A comprehensive literature survey would definitely provide a clear understanding of the existing works. Conduct a systematic review of relevant scholarly articles, books, conference papers and other reliable sources. This will not only help you to understand the depth of the work but also provide an opportunity to ask questions that can lead you to identify research gap. When you are reading research articles, focus more on the introduction section where the authors explain the importance of their research and the gaps they have identified and attempted to fill through their research. Reading a review articles on a particular area of research is more important. Also, it is the easiest way to understand the gap in your research in a short time. Read meta-analysis and review papers to learn more about the developments and trends in research over the years in your field of research. Pay attention to areas where there are conflicting results, contradictory theories or unanswered questions. These areas often indicate potential research gaps that you can explore further. It is always a good practice to note all the questions that cross your mind while reading articles. You can use tables, charts or tools to record this. It will be helpful to you in the long run when you are developing your idea into a research problem or even when writing your manuscript. Skim reading the literatures in the sense you don't need to read the articles from start to end. Instead, you need to focus on these 3 key sections. They are abstract. Here you will get to know what the work is all about and the key findings. Then introduction. It will give you more detail about the context and the background of the study as well as how the researchers fill the gap with their novel and unique research work. Conclusion. Another useful way to find a research gap is to focus on the recommendations for future research or conclusion section in the research or review article. It will give you the directions or suggestions for future research that could be highly interesting and inspiring. By skimming through these 3 sections of any research and review article, you will gain a reasonable idea of what each study was about without taking much of your time. Then search for FRIN phrase. FRIN stands for future research is needed. This is an easy method to identify the research gap. You will have to search for few specific phrases in the articles you read. The phrases are investigation on this is still required or needed. It is important to understand this. have not been reported, the key question remains unanswered, it is important to address. These expressions indicate the gaps or issues related to the main question that still need an extensive scientific study. Therefore, it is important to take notice of them and use this information to develop a novel research that are worth exploring. Discuss the issues and problems with your research supervisor or advisor to get their suggestions. These conversations can provide valuable insights and helps you to refine your research focus. They can help you to identify the blind spots in your thinking. You can also use digital tools as they can save time and make your search easy. Tools like Essential Science Indicator identify the most cited articles in your field to know which topics are considered important. You can also use Google Trends to learn more about the popular questions related to your research area. This will ease your search for an unexplored area. Consider conducting a laboratory skill study to test the feasibility and viability of your research problem. A lab skill study will provide you with initial data, and you also get idea on how to design your experiments. It can help you to identify any potential limitations or challenges that need to be addressed before undertaking a full-scale research study. Once you have a list of potential research gaps that could be explored, you need to systematically evaluate them to choose a good research problem. This will help you to avoid duplication of work. The key factors to be considered are listed here. Originality and novel. You need to ensure that the research problem should be original, unique and novel. You need to check whether the data collection sampling methods are easy and feasible. Also check the instrumentation facilities are available for the study. Check for any additional cost involved for data collection and analysis. Check that you are able to complete the research works within the time frame specified by your university. The most important factor is ensure that your supervisor is comfortable in guiding you in your chosen topic throughout your research work. By following the above said tips, I'm sure that you can very well identify the research gaps in your area of research. Unique research topics emerge from the research gaps, so it is important to do the gap analysis before you attempt to define a topic. Once you have identified a potential research gap and resultant topic, frame your objectives, then develop a clear methodology, carry out your experiments, and this will certainly lead to breakthrough results. And that's all about today's video. If you like this video, share among your research groups. For more such videos, subscribe this channel. Happy researching. Thank you.